Welcome to Utah. In this video, we'll take on one of Moab's most scenic off-road trails, find a couple great campsites, hike, explore, and see what else eastern Utah has to offer. So stay tuned.
Not exactly wide.
We start this adventure here with a bright morning and a truck freshly dusted with its first layer of red dirt. More is sure to come. For finding this campsite at night, we didn't do too bad. We found a campsite just north of the Island in the Sky district of Canyonlands National Park. I would make a note, if you're planning to camp anywhere near Canyonlands National Park, the closer you get to the entrance, the more no camping signs you'll see on turnoffs. We had to bail on our planned campsite due to these signs. Breakfast is simple. We've got a big day ahead of us. I'm fascinated by the petrified snow at our campsite. It's packed down hard and I can barely make a footprint in it. These lower temps helped keep us from sinking in the mud last night, as the road to this site could have been quite soupy otherwise. We make our way to our first off-road trail of the day, Long Canyon. The views are gorgeous, all the way there. And the second mishap of the trip, the trail's closed. This is a real damper, as the Long Canyon road would have made a scenic route to downtown Moab and then Chicken Corners. With this trail closed, we decided to change the itinerary and head into Canyonlands National Park. A recent reversal of a court ruling means I can't film for YouTube inside national parks, so you'll just have to use your imagination here. After a great morning in Canyonlands, we make our way to Chicken Corners, one of Moab's most famous and scenic trails. I quickly teach myself to use my new ARB quick deflate in a trailhead parking lot, then we're on our way. Even before the trail really starts, the views out the window are magnificent. We really don't see many vehicles out besides a couple of Jeeps and a Razor. After all, it's only the first week of March here. This is the first mandatory obstacle near Hurrah Pass, where I thought, maybe a Subaru wouldn't quite be comfortable here. The trail narrows at times, and longer vehicles should take care on one or two particular corners where it looked like the edge was washing out a little. For the most part, this trail is away from cliff edges. This is the toughest mandatory obstacle on the trail. Really not that difficult, although you'll notice my passenger side frame and rocker panel are pretty close to nicking a rock as I make it up. We break up the trail by making a quick stop at the wind caves. I would highly recommend this. There's some great rock formations and light patterns to be found. I really enjoyed this stop, and it broke up the trail really nicely. A much smaller and easier ledge here. This was an optional obstacle that I took on. I really enjoyed it. This is the tallest obstacle I took on. I didn't ask for a spot or spend too much time planning my line, and I'm not sure if I would have beached the truck on its frame had I actually gotten the front tires up. I really didn't mean to cause the truck to catch and break loose here like this. This is a great way to bust the CV axle if you're not careful. A slightly less aggressive line makes for an easy path up and a little bit of tire wrench. This is the narrowest and most dangerous part of the trail. Still very easy, just navigate some of the muddy ruts with a little throttle, you'll be fine. Not much later, you can hop out of the truck and make your way to Chicken Corner. It's a narrow walking trail, but nothing extreme.
It's not exactly wide.
Past the corner is a vast, untouched landscape. Honestly, pretty cool.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Now it's time to head back to the truck and find our camping spot. And boy, did we find a great spot. Nestled right along the Colorado River, we park the truck and start making camp. It's quiet and isolated, my kind of camping spot. The only other person we saw all evening was this plane cruising only feet above the river. As we're unpacking camp, I noticed the truck's shell has shifted off-center from all the bumps. This isn't the first time this has happened, and it's easily fixable. Dan goes for a can of Spam to supplement his dinner. I'm gonna stick to tuna. The moon rises early and the sunset begins to put on a show. I can't say I've ever witnessed a better sunset, let alone while relaxing at such a quiet and scenic campsite. There's no wind, no bugs, just the Red Rock Buttes and us. After the sun sets, I try my hand at some light painting. I think these turned out particularly good. Soon it's time to cozy up in the camper and shut out the lights. We're up before the sun is fully risen, as we need to be in downtown Moab early this morning. My roommate has a job interview, of all things. He couldn't reschedule it. All that's left to do is a quick air up. I can't help but admire our fellow First Gen Tundra in the parking lot. I like his choice of Falcon tires. A big thanks to Moab Coffee Roasters for the breve and for giving my roommate some Wi-Fi. He couldn't have nailed the interview without it. No, seriously, he got the job offer. I decide to fix the camper shell while he's in the truck schmoozing executives, and then I walk around downtown and marvel at all the adventure-ready rigs. And I find a hat that I can't live without. We decide to finish out the day at Arches National Park. Again, you'll have to employ your imagination. From Moab, we make our way down to Monticello. We decide to stop and get what turns out to be a really great burger. And from Monticello, we head down another hour or so, once again finding a campsite in the dark. It's not much, but it works. We're not even that far from the highway. We're camping on what appears to be some kind of shared use BLM land. There are cattle feeding everywhere around here, although they left us alone. There's also a constant thumping that can be heard resonating across the plateau. We assume it's from a nearby oil rig. We've already seen a couple during our travels. Dan insists that we try some screwball he's been saving and brought on this trip.
Peanut butter screwball.
I'm not a fan.
It is so peanut buttery, but like whiskey. It's like
Is it just like extra thick peanut butter?
yeah, it's like a little milky.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thoughts?
Oh,
Yeah, it's funky, huh?
I feel like you could mix it with something.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's not sipping.
Dan also brought his guitar along, so while I take some long exposures, he graces us with some chords and choruses.
There was a good man in the making once.
in the light of yesterday, trying to remember just who he was, trying like hell to recall his name.
I wouldn't trade this time by the fire for anything.
But it used to be my name. Now the sky is coming down. Can't you see stars falling? Have yourself another round till you can't hear the darkness calling, till you can't hear the darkness